So Toxin is Mobile Snap's newest card. It comes in with an on reveal of returning your other cards here to your hand and giving Toxin +2 power for each card returned. So obviously if it's returning 3 other cards to hand, that's going to be a +6, making it a 2/7. Obviously in the sort of deck that you'd be playing it in, which is a bit of a bounce deck, you're likely going to be able to get Toxin to much higher than 7, which is really useful. Before we get into the deck that I've been using, firstly I just want to say thank you so much for all the support that you've been giving me. The last couple of videos have gone crazy in terms of viewership, so really thankful for that, and also thanks to those that are leaving lovely comments and liking and subscribing as well. It's been really positive and really lovely. I can't really exaggerate how nice it's been, so thank you very much. But if you haven't already left a like or subscribed, please do. It really helps, and I'll be sure to thank you, I promise. So the deck that I've been using Toxin in is quite an interesting one because I don't have a lot of the typical cards that you would see in a bounce style deck, or at least some of the better ones. So for example, I don't have Silver Sable, I don't have Sage, I don't have Hitmonkey, and I don't have Black Swan. Not because I don't want to have them, it's just because I don't have them and I haven't had the chance to pick them up yet. If I did have those cards, you'd probably see them in this deck, but this is me doing what I can with the resources that I currently have. So that does include a couple of new cards, obviously in Agent Venom, and more importantly sort of showcasing Toxin here. Bishop is quite an important card when it comes to bounce decks as well, just being able to play as many cards as you can just to boost up Bishop's power. This is helped when Beast is able to pick up loads of cards, discount them in cost, and then you can play them again further down the line. Obviously Toxin and Falcon both are able to pick up cards as well. Doesn't reduce the cost, but Toxin obviously gains power in doing so, whereas Falcon only picks up the 1-cost cards. Most of the deck would benefit from sort of a first turn Bast. Similarly with Agent Venom as well, most of these cards will benefit from being able to be set to a 4 power whilst they're in deck. Also the beauty of US Agent as well is that we don't actually have any 4 to 6 cost cards, which means that we won't accidentally hit any of our cards with any negative power. I would say that Toxin's a really fun card to use, especially considering some of the more positive impacts that it has in comparison to Falcon. And when you can use it in tandem with Beast as well, it makes for a really interesting card. So yeah, let's get into some gameplay and see how this deck goes. We do have Toxin straight away, which is very nice, and a couple of 1-cost cards already. Definitely not going to complain about that, especially if we pick up another 1-cost card that we can play immediately. But we have Bar Sinister, which is quite an interesting revelation. Ooh. What happens if I just do this? I'm going to have quite a lot of Toxins. Okay, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with all of these. Hazmat's a bit rude. We do have Central Park as well. I'm playing the Rocket Raccoon or maybe the Iceman just to free up some space because I want a Toxin again. Yeah, why not? We'll treat ourselves. Oh no, we're not going to be able to return any of these to hand. But at least 9 power is quite a lot, all things considered, isn't it? I'll be able to return all of those to hand as well, and we even hit the Rocket Raccoon. I really hope that's enough power in the middle. Oh yeah, I did forget about the demon with the hood, but that's fine. What should we do now? Ideally I want to play as many Toxins as I can, because why not? obviously Iceman does us a favour by negatively affecting one of their cards, so that would make sense. But I also do still want to probably play a couple of these. I might as well play Toxin. We will just about have enough free space to drag all of these out at least. This is not necessarily the best way to be able to play this, but it's great to see this amount of Toxins on the board at a time.
Wakanda forever!
Also, what is quite annoying is that... Oh, yeah, I don't know if they were trying to Arnhem Zola that, but obviously they're not going to be able to. Right, so Rocket Raccoon. Or maybe we play Beast first. Because we don't want to pick any of these up, obviously. But I think, well, that is definitely the best way to pick up as much power as possible. And then we have 3 squirrels in hand as well. I'm so happy we managed to win that with 7 Toxins.
Victory!
As I said, not the wisest way to play that game, but fun nonetheless. Got lots of 1 costs in hand at the moment. I'm thinking, do I just Bast? I'm confident that we're going to be able to hit this, and it'll be worth more at that point, surely. Oh my goodness, the anticipation. Oh my goodness, come on. About to have a heart attack. Oh, I didn't play anything. I should have probably expected that from the long wait time. Fisk Tower, well, fortunately for us, we don't have anything that we want to move. So that's absolutely fine. I'll get the US agent out for the moment. I don't want to play too many 1 costs here if I'm not going to be able to pick them back up again. Saying that, Bast now isn't a 1 cost. I could also just remove this location over here and see what it comes up with. Return both of these cards to hand as well. What's it going to be? Sanctum Sanctorum, but into a magic. That's unfortunate. That would have been nice. And now we have a bishop, which definitely makes sense to play down. I don't want to play the Nico just because it's going to destroy something. Oh, I'm never going to hit this Rocket Raccoon, am I? Goodness me. I missed a negative, so probably now into the Mighty Thor. Right, so we have Agent Venom, which will hit the Hood, Iceman, Toxin, and Beast. So for the most part that does us some good, apart from obviously the Beast, which will take a hit, but at this point not a bad move, I don't think. We'll play the Nico down, we'll play the Mysterio down, and then we'll play the Agent Venom down as well. That's going to be a lot of cards to boost up the Bishop, hence why I'm not too sad about playing on Atlantis as well. It's already quite a bit of power on Bishop there.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah, they did not think about my US agent being there, did they? Which I'm not complaining about. And then, what we're going to do, we're going to play Toxin. And then, we're going to play Bast. So, these cards will be returned to hand. Then Bast will hit, which will give 2 of them a bit of a buff, which is nice. And Toxin over there already is going to have plenty of power. This is interesting from them. I don't know if they've thought this through very well. I'm going to say not. I don't necessarily need to do that in the middle. I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to play the Falcon because that does us more harm than it does good. But I can't see how we don't win this one. Especially considering they put the Iron Man down in the middle there with with the US agent being there, and even if they do play an Enchantress to get rid of that, they obviously ruin their own Iron Man. I mean, it's also typically not a card that you see in a Mr. Negative deck.
Victory.
Yeah, as I thought, there was just no winning that for them. So we've got a Nico, which will be able to copy, I mean, probably an Agent Venom that will play. Quantum Realm. I mean, that's not too bad for the deck that we do have. I could Toxin the left, but it would only give us an extra 2 power on the Toxin. It would give us an additional Toxin. You know what? Screw it. Why not? Yeah, I was going to say, do I do it in Quantum Realm? But no, I'm going to do it on the left-hand side. So base power of Toxin is obviously 1 as well, so... Ooh, also Elysium is fantastic for us. So I'm going to just play some free cards here in the middle. Toxin this. Oh my goodness. Obviously US Agent on the left doesn't make sense because they can't play 4, 5 or 6 cost cards there anyway. So we'll get the US Agent down on the right. They've magicked it anyway, so actually that doesn't matter. With Elysium, it would be perfect if we did pick up Bishop for this next turn. A 10 power Toxin is very nice. We can bounce so much at the moment. It might even make sense to turn this into a demon. And then we'll pick up these. We'll pick up the Toxin again. We won't use the Bash just because that will kind of mess us up a little bit. Yeah. But I can always use this sort of towards the end. It is a free card. Oh, yeah. I kind of assumed that it was going to affect the Agent Venom's power first, completely disregarding that fact. Oh no, come on!
Victory.
We have a 0-12 Rocket Raccoon, we have a 0-3 Toxin. I was probably going to use it in the middle. Oh, that would have been fantastic, but at least we got the double Toxin and we got one of them onto 10 power as well. But that had so much potential, that game. It had so much potential. Okay, the 2 times, yeah, the double this card's power buff on Nico, which I will get down. And against the Quinjet, so it's not an Arishem deck actually, just having a look at the number of cards that they've got in their deck. So that is quite an interesting one for us. Put US Agent down in the middle for now. Very fortunately, obviously, this US Agent doesn't actually hit anything on our deck or like negatively affect us in any way, which is nice. Right, what should I do now? I think I'll play the Bishop down now. I'm pretty much aiming to play that as early as possible every single time. It's a high Evo deck. That's also quite interesting. Obviously playing the Falcon here won't be able to pick up the US agent. Where do I think they're going to play? Probably over there. Then we'll, yeah, get a demon and then we'll just Falcon up the 1-cost cards. Yeah, maybe not then. But that's fine. And a magic turns off Mindscape as well. From this point onwards, it's probably going to be quite difficult to win the middle. I'm going to double or nothing it and try and hit the Rocket Raccoon on the right hand side. Nico probably into a hood at this point. And then I'll put the demon down on the left hand side. I could play Bast, but I don't necessarily want to at the moment. Okay, finally we hit the Rocket Raccoon at least once. It's like a high Evo Zoo deck almost. This is interesting. Keeps buffing up that left hand side as well, which we're going to have to do something about. I also don't necessarily want to play a demon over here just to stop this Nebula. Because we're going to keep buffing up this bishop as much as possible. I just don't want to lock myself out, basically. But then again, is the demon over here the worst shout in the world? Actually, no, I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to stick with my guns. We're picking up these cards, obviously, from Beast as well, so we'll see what we get off the back of that. We get 3 free cards, which is lovely. We get the Hulk over on the right hand side, so probably steering clear of that as well. And I would probably assume that they're going to play something in the middle. So if we want to get as much power in the middle as possible, yeah, playing Rocket Raccoon here makes sense. We'll play the demon down, and then we're just going to play these 3 cards over here just to buff up this bishop a bit more. Then is it necessary for me to play the demon over there? Is that too high a power if I want to at least try and put it over here? Maybe. They might just assume that I've abandoned this right hand side. I know it's only 2 difference in power, but might be quite important 2 power, you know. They actually don't play anything in the middle, which I was not expecting. So I'm interested to see what this is going to be. A Misty and an Armor. And the Marvel Boy is not going to do enough to boost up the power. Neither is that Sunspot. Cool. Went surprisingly well, that one, I think.
Victory.
Also, I've just noticed 16 power on Bishop. That is silly.
This just in.
So, we've picked up a Juggernaut from our opponent. Whenever I see a Juggernaut, I'm assuming that it's like a Kingpin Scream style deck, which is always quite frustrating to play against when you need like a combo in a specific lane. But with this deck, that's not necessarily the case. They also picked up our Iceman, which we're just going to hit them back with immediately. Oh, Icebox is also going to hit that Juggernaut again, so yeah, I'm going to assume... I mean, I wasn't planning on playing the Juggernaut, but definitely not now. We'll get the Agent Venom down. It'll buff up our Bast, Rocket Raccoon, Toxin, Falcon. Mysterio would stay the same, and then Beast would only go down in 1 power, which, funnily enough, we've just picked up the Beast. But if I have the potential to play Bishop on turn 3, I will play Bishop. That is a guarantee with this style of deck. And yeah, it's very much looking like it's the style of deck that I thought it was going to be, which is the sort of like anti-move deck almost. I'll put the US Agent down, and then I'll put Falcon down on this right hand side. We always have the option to pick all these up with Beast, so we're not necessarily blocking ourselves up too much. Pick up that Iceman. In all likelihood, yeah, we're picking up the 2 cards there. So that's Spider-Man. Oh, US Agent, of course. Then I think we'll... Actually, what I'll do first is I'll play a couple of my cards first. We'll get the Iceman down immediately again, just so that we can buff up the Bishop by a couple. When we do pick up all of these cards, obviously it is going to completely lock us up, and we won't be able to draw either Toxin or Nico. But at this point, that's fine.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Okay, and then yeah, that's the Screams also taking some of the Beast's power again. Just having a look. Yeah, so I mean, US Agent still makes sense to play here. Oh, okay.
Victory.
I do think that we very much had the upper hand here with the sort of discounting the high-powered cards that we had. I was probably going to play Bishop on this left-hand side. Already we would have been up there. Played the US Agent down. Yeah, we've got so many options. Maybe even the Mysterio as well. And then the Bast, because that would be 6 altogether. 2, 4, yeah, 5, 6. And that Bishop would have, yeah, grown exponentially. Okay, well, we've picked up 3-1 costs, but I'm going to pick the Iceman up purely due to the fact that Rocket Raccoon with 3 completely bare locations is always quite a difficult one to hit, and then the Hood as well. If we have the choice to Bast it prior, then I'd prefer to do that. Ironically, if I played the Rocket Raccoon there, I actually would have hit it. We've got Stark Tower in the middle. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just go with that. Surely they'll play in the middle. My prediction will definitely come off. It doesn't matter either way. We do have the Beast in hand, so if we did use that in the middle, then we can at least pick it up for free. Carnage straight into the Nova. So only giving them 1 extra power, which is definitely an interesting move. We'll put the Bishop down in the middle as well. And then probably on the next turn, Demon and Beast. I'm also surprised that they didn't keep a hold of that Carnage then, just because of that. We also do get the Bast as well, but without the Hood in hand at the moment, it would be pointless to use that now. I'll do that. It will give Bishop an extra power here as well, and then get all these cards back out, and both these will be free. Bishop will only cost 2. Returning the Deadpool to hand as well without destroying it. Definitely goes against what a destroy deck normally is. But I'm also not complaining. Right, then we have Bishop, and we also have the Rocket Raccoon, which surely at this point they should be playing something here. I'm also then going to play Mysterio. One of the sort of Mysterio clones will be able to get that +2 in the middle from Stark Tower. And then I think I'm also going to play the Bast, which will be able to hit the hood. And
Victory.
even me talking about it, they felt a shiver down their spine and they were like, this guy's just up to no good. He knows exactly what he's doing. Or at least that's what I'm going to tell myself. I mean, Bast definitely works here. It does reduce the beast down, but giving Bishop a little boost off the bat, BBB is nice. Agent Venom will get down as well, and then yeah, definitely into the Bishop on the next turn. Goodness me. We are going to get an extra card here from X Mansion. So I'm thinking if we do put the Bishop down, then we could beast the left next turn. Normally I wouldn't try to put as many cards in X Mansion with it giving us a random card, but I think it's worth it in this case. I've got an Abomination. That's very nice. And they picked up a Storm, which does mean actually we might mess ourselves up if we put the beast down. We might as well just keep that there and have that guaranteed power instead. So that's what I'm going to do. And we have I was going to say we could put the hood down. However, considering we have Bishop as well, maybe it makes sense to play Mysterio. A Wong. What do I think is going to be happening here? What is this telling me? It's probably just going to be a MODOK. How many does this hit? This will just hit the hood and Bast. Alternatively, I could play the beast there. What do I prefer? Yeah, maybe. And then we can again kind of assess the situation in terms of what 4 to 6 cost cards are played over here. Whether we then put the US agent back down over there again. Probably at this rate, to be honest. Because even if they just all out Abomination in the middle on the last turn, we should win the right hand side at least, and at this rate we're definitely winning the left. Blade a couple of times, of course it's going to hit the Apocalypse.
I am reborn.
Colleen Wing, okay. Currently not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Obviously the Collector is getting buffed up a little bit here, and as is Morbius. But with the amount of cards that we're likely going to be playing on this next turn, I doubt that should be an issue. Famous last words. Yeah, it covers quite a bit by doing that, to be honest. It'll boost up the Bishop quite a bit, which is nice. And if they play the Abomination just straight up in the middle, then we should also win. Okay, a couple of... Obviously, there's a few swarms in there as well. Yep. I was certainly correct, and yeah, we've guaranteed the left and right, which is exactly what we were aiming for, and we knew that we were going to play the Apocalypse in the middle as well, so...
Victory!
Perfect. Very nice.